Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech, and in this video I'll be talking about the best features of Vivo V9 Pro along with some important tips and tricks. I'll first start off with the best features and then move on to the tips and tricks section. So if you're bored anywhere, just skip ahead, but make sure you definitely check out the tips and tricks section. By the way, I have used Vivo V9 in this video and you will find similar set of features even on Vivo V9 Pro. Now with that said, the first best feature about this phone is definitely its display. This phone sports a 6.3-inch IPS display with Full HD Plus resolution in the new 19:9 aspect ratio. You get the regular display notch with very small bezels all around. This display with the entire form factor of the phone just makes it look awesome. Now the next best feature is the short refocus. Now on this phone, unlike phones like Mi A1 or the Redmi Note 5 Pro, we can take portrait shots, and before taking a portrait shot, we can change the aperture or the amount of background blur effect we want. And even after taking a picture, we can change the focus point and the amount of background blur effect we want. So this is one of the unique features Vivo offers. Now the next best feature would be the face unlock. This phone doesn't have any fancy IR sensor like the iPhone X or the iris scanner like the Samsung phones. It just uses its front facing camera to unlock the phone. And it is super fast. And in low lighting conditions, it takes like a second to unlock, which is again much faster than phones like Redmi Note 5 Pro. Now with that said, next we have AR stickers, where we can add these funny animation things to your face using the front and rear cameras. Even Oppo F7 offers this feature. On Vivo, there are more stickers and the implementation is slightly better. Next we have some camera gestures like touch, voice and palm. So once you have enabled them, you can touch the screen to capture a shot. When you first touch the screen, it will try to focus, and when you touch it again, it will take the shot. Next we can use the voice capture. Just say cheese or capture to take a shot. Cheese. Now the third one is the palm. Just simply show your palm to your front or rear cameras to take a picture. Next we have live photo mode. Simply enable it. Every time you take a picture using the front or rear cameras, it will record few seconds as video and link it with your picture. And you can check out that video in this way. It just adds a little story to every picture you take. Next we have two fingerprint gestures. Just enable these two toggles and now we can swipe down on the fingerprint scanner to pull down the notification bar, which I think is super handy with a phone with such a massive screen. This is one particular feature I really miss on the Oppo F7. Next we can also take pictures using the fingerprint scanner. In the stock camera application, simply touch the fingerprint scanner to take a picture. Now this is very handy to take selfies. Next we have a feature called App Clone that allows us to use two versions of the same application. We just need to enable this toggle and go to the home screen and enter the edit mode by simply long pressing an icon, and you will be able to see the plus button for the applications that support this feature. As of now, very few applications like WhatsApp, Facebook and Instagram support this feature. Next we have Smart Split. All the phones running Android Nougat and above offer split screen mode, where we can use two applications side by side. But Vivo offers a stripped down version of it even in 2018 after all these years. It only works on few applications like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and so on. I really wish Vivo could support split screen mode for all the applications. Vivo also offers us a quick gesture to open the split screen mode. Simply swipe down using 3 fingers in a compatible application to open split screen mode. If the application is not supported, you will simply get an error, and if it is supported, it will open that application in a split screen mode, and in the second window, you can choose the compatible applications. Once the split screen mode is on, you can click at the center for additional options. You can close either of the windows, swap them, or choose a different application. Next, in settings, we have this option called Smart Click. It's a quick shortcut to allow you to perform some actions when you press and hold the volume down button when the display is off. I prefer to use the flash. When the phone is locked, press and hold the volume down button to toggle the flash. By the way, it doesn't work if you're playing some music. You can also choose to record audio, open the camera application and do other stuff. Next we have one-handed mode. This phone has a massive screen and obviously you need two hands to use this phone. But for some reason, if you want to use this phone single-handedly, or maybe unlock the passwords or use the keyboard single-handedly, you can do all that from these settings. To completely shrink the screen, you can do this gesture. You can do it again to maximize the screen. Next we have 3-finger screenshot. Before I show you how to use that, let me show you how to take a normal screenshot. Simply press the volume down and power button both at the same time to take a screenshot. Now coming back to the 3-finger screenshot, simply enable it and simply swipe up using 3 fingers to take a screenshot. It is super handy and I really love this feature. Next we have long screenshot. Now once you take a screenshot, you'll get a small preview on the top right corner of the screen.
Now if you want to take a long screenshot, click the long screenshot button. Your phone will take a long screenshot. Next we have some air operations, and the first one is the glance feature. Once you enable this feature, you can simply wave over the proximity sensor to have a quick glance at the time. It is a cool feature to show off, but it will drain the battery a little. Next we have air unlock. If you don't have a password set to your phone, you can simply wave your palm over the proximity sensor to unlock the phone. I wouldn't recommend you using this feature, simply disable it and make sure you set up a good password for your phone. Next we have some gestures like double tap to sleep. Now once you enable this feature, you can simply double tap on an empty area on your home screen or your lock screen to lock your phone. This is kind of a unique feature and I wish we could do it even from the status bar. On previous Vivo phones, we even have double tap to wake, but for some reason that feature is not present on this phone. At least I couldn't see it. Next we have rise to wake, and just as the name suggests, once you enable this feature, when you simply pick up your phone, screen lights up and shows you the lock screen. If you have enabled face unlock, it will instantly unlock the phone, which is a really nice experience. Next we have smart key bright. Once you enable this feature, your phone will use the front camera to see if you are using the phone, and if you are using the phone, it will keep the screen on. It's a cool feature, but it will drain the battery a little. Next we have a lot of smart call features, which I would recommend you to check them out yourself. You can put the phone near your ear to lift the call, hold it in the hand to turn on the speaker mode, swipe over the proximity sensor to lift the call and do some other stuff. Next we can shake the phone to turn on the flash. Once you enable this feature, you can shake your phone in the lock screen or the home screen to turn on the flash. You can press the power button to turn it off. If you enable double tap to sleep, it is kinda hard to use this feature. Next we have tilt to zoom pictures. Once you have enabled this feature, open the gallery application and select any picture. Now you can tilt the phone to zoom in and zoom out. Next we have smart reminder. Once you enable this feature, every time you have a missed call or a notification, once you pick up the phone, you will get a gentle reminder. Next we have smart low volume. Once you enable this feature, for ringtones, alarms and timers, volume will go down automatically once the phone sees your face. Next we have super screenshot. I've already shown you how to take the regular screenshot, 3-finger screenshot and the long screenshot, but this one still offers a lot of things related to the screenshot. So to use the super screenshot, just open the notification bar and press the S capture toggle. From here you can take long screenshots, rectangular screenshots, even record the screen and take some funny screenshots. Next we have flashlight notification. Once you enable this toggle, every time you get a call or a message, LED light on the back flickers, giving you a visible indication. It will come in handy if your phone is in silent mode in a dark room. Next we have Easy Touch, which is like a floating bubble just like on an iPhone with some additional options. You can single tap it for additional options, and we can also choose a custom action for double tap, like going back, going to home screen, pulling down the notification bar or taking a screenshot. It is exactly like the feature seen in the iPhone with limited features. Next we have eye protection mode. This feature is also called as night mode and reading mode in other phones. You can turn it on by using this toggle or from the notification toggles or based on a specific time. This mode protects your eyes at night by filtering blue light. Next we have gaming mode. Once you enable this particular feature for any particular game, you get additional options like putting the calls in the background, auto rejecting the calls, blocking all floating notifications and disabling automatic Wi-Fi connection. Now if you play a lot of games and don't want to be interrupted, this particular feature is a lifesaver. Next we have navigation gestures, which resemble the iPhone X a lot. We can swipe from the right side to go back, swipe from the center to go home, swipe and hold for recent apps, and you can swipe from the left side for control center. Next we have Face Beauty for video call. Now this is kind of a unique feature that can be found only in the Oppo and Vivo phones. For some reason, if you want to use the beauty mode while using third-party video calling apps like WhatsApp, this phone allows you to do that. Next we have Super Power Saver mode. Once you enable this mode, all the applications will be killed and you will be given access to only 4 applications: phone dialer, messenger, contacts and clock. And that's all you can do, but it will drastically improve the battery life. Let's say you're running really low on battery and don't want your phone to die, you just want to answer calls, simply enable this mode and your phone will last for hours. Next we have an app lock built into the system. For the first time when you open it up, it'll ask you to set a password and then select the applications that you want to lock. Now the best thing about this phone is we can unlock the locked applications using the password or the fingerprint or even the facial recognition system. So most of the time, in good lighting conditions, you might never even see the lock screen if you have facial recognition on. Next we have task timer. This feature is called as scheduled power on and power off on other phones, and as the name suggests, it will allow you to power off and power on your phone at a specific time. Next we have network management, where we can disable internet access to applications or Wi-Fi and mobile data. Normally many people won't be using this feature, but if you're someone who wants absolute control over your phone, or maybe you don't want applications to access internet, say Clash of Clans, or maybe if you don't want others to use internet on your phone for a specific application, maybe playing a game, then you can disable internet access for that particular application. Next we have wireless display. Using this feature, we can cast the screen of your phone to a smart TV or a Chromecast. I personally use this feature to cast the screen of my phone to my TV while watching a movie on Amazon Prime. Next we have a floating video player. The stock video player that comes on this phone gives us the option to play video in a floating window. And this is how it looks. We can also swipe on the right side to increase the volume, swipe on the left side to increase the brightness, and swipe left or right to change the playback position. Next we have Motorbike Mode. So once you enable this mode, you get some additional options like rejecting all the calls, only accepting favorite calls while you are driving the bike, automatically respond to the callers with a message, or let you answer the phone if your speed is less than 10 km per hour. It's a cool feature, but we have to manually turn it on and turn it off. I wish we could automate it. Next we have background apps. By default, this phone is configured to kill all the applications running in the background after some time, but if you don't want some specific applications to be killed, say like WhatsApp or Facebook, you can whitelist them from this page. Next we have auto start management. When you kill applications from the recent tabs page, some applications restart and run in the background. Apps like Facebook and WhatsApp might be important, but apps like Amazon, Flipkart or even the UC browser need not run in the background. So from this page you can block such applications from restarting in the background and thereby improving the battery life. Next we have auto call recording. If you're someone like me who wants to record all the calls that they receive on your phone, we can do it on this phone. Just go to the phone dialer settings and we have the option for recording all the calls automatically.
So guys, those were the best features. Now let's look at some important tips and tricks. Now the first thing that you should definitely do is enable full screen view for all the applications. Now let me just show you what happens normally. So this is YouTube, and when you try to play a video, this is what happens. And if you notice the status bar, it is completely blank as if there is no notch at all. And when we go full screen, you can see two black bars on either side. Let me just skip the ad. Now when I try to zoom in, do a pin gesture, it doesn't work. So as you can see, there is a lot of wasted screen real estate, and the same thing applies even for games. Now to make this application or any other application open in the full screen mode, go to settings, then display settings, then select third party app display, and now select the application, which in our case is YouTube. Now select full screen, switch, and when you open YouTube for the next time, it will open in the full screen, and now you can notice the notch. Now let me play this video. I'm just gonna go full screen. Now if we do a pin gesture, it goes full screen, and we can even see the video even near the notch. So it's taking complete advantage of the screen, and now the display feels more immersive. So if you find any applications that are not using the screen properly, then you simply go to display settings and enable full screen display for that particular application. Now the same thing happened even with Leo's Fortune. Where's the game? So this is the game, and once I've enabled the full screen option, I was able to play the game in full screen mode. So here you go. Now the next important thing is to change the browser. Now right out of the box, whenever I try to open a link, it opened it in the default browser. This is the one. Now that was really annoying. So to change the default browser, you need to go to settings, then select more settings, then select applications, and now default app settings. Now from here you can change all the default applications, but first change the browser. Change it to Google Chrome, and there you go. Let's say you have installed Nova Launcher, go to home screen, change it to Nova Launcher, and whenever you press the home button, it will take you to the Nova Launcher. So this is another important thing that most people miss, but you should definitely check it out. Next I'll show you how to change the navigation keys. So these are the navigation keys on the navigation bar. On the right we have the back button, and on the left side we have the recent apps button. So to change that, go to system navigation, select order and style of navigation keys. So from here you can change the order, and from here you can change the style. I'll go with these settings. Next I'll show you how to disable heads up notification for all applications. Now whenever you get a notification on this phone, by default you get a banner kind of a thing over here, and for me it's really annoying. And if it's the same for you, to disable it,
Go to settings, then select status bar and notification, select top preview style and select no preview. Once you do that, you won't see the heads up notification, but all the notifications will be present over here. So that's a good thing. And Vivo has done a great job by giving us a single option to disable it for all applications. Just so you know, Oppo doesn't have this particular option. Anyway, going on next, from the same place we can enable battery percentage. So if you want to see the battery percentage on the status bar, just enable this toggle and you can see it there. We can also display the network speed or network usage on the status bar by enabling this toggle. Now let's go back. Next I'll show you some settings related to control center. So this is the control center or the notification toggles or whatever you want to call it. While watching videos or while playing games, you might accidentally trigger it. So if you don't want the control center to show up everywhere, you can disable it from these settings. So if you go to settings, more settings, then control center. If you disable this toggle, you won't be able to use the control center or bring it up when you're using applications. So if you want to use the control center, you have to go to the home screen and then swipe up. Let me show you that once again. Now we are in the YouTube application. Now if I try to do a swipe up, control center simply doesn't pop up. So that's a really handy trick. Now I don't mind using control center everywhere, so I'll just turn it on. Now this is the control center once again, and you can rearrange these toggles by going to the button, clicking that button, and now we can rearrange these toggles by simply doing a long press and swipe. Now this is kinda my favorite order, and you can choose to go with this one or set it up based on your preference. Now let's go back. Now as you can see, we have the rearrange notification toggles. So you can rearrange them based on your preference. Now the same thing applies even to the icons on the home screen. So if you want to move an application from one home screen to another, simply press and hold and then swipe it to the another screen. And it is as simple as that. Now if you long press the screen, you get all these additional options. You can add new widgets from here. Simply click it to add that widget. Next, we can also use OTG pen drives on this phone, but that option is disabled by default. So if you want to use an OTG pen drive on this phone, first come to settings, then select OTG and enable this toggle. After you have done that, you can insert the OTG pen drive and it will get recognized by the phone. Next, if you go to more settings, we have this toggle for blinker indicator. So this phone has a LED notification light at the top, and if you want to use it, enable this toggle, and if you don't want to use it, disable this toggle.
So guys, those were all the best features and important tips and tricks. If I missed out on anything important, do let me know by commenting below this video. Now, if you're planning to buy this phone, please use the link in the description. It always helps the channel, and if you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag #GreedyTech on Twitter and I'll try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.